Hello viewers, my name is Jim Wavada. This is Working the Commons, brought to you by the folks at Spokane Talks Media. So what is Working the Commons and who am I? Working the Commons is a monthly look inside our government at every level, federal, state, and local. I will report to you on the challenges facing the people and the agencies we entrust with operating our many governments on our behalf. And me? Well, I'm a one-time journalist and a long-time public worker who has just plain had enough of watching our public space and the thousands of good people who work in it be relentlessly attacked. I'm here to say I've had enough of that. You know, we all encounter some level of government every day of our lives, from the mail service to the local university to the military base just outside of town. As much as we like to complain about government, when it's not giving us what we think we want, the truth is we have only ourselves to blame, because in America, we are the government. If we want to make government work better, we are empowered through the ballot box and other means of formal public feedback to do just that. Now consider this. Right here in Spokane, the Census Bureau says there are 197,989 people in our workforce. And according to the Census Bureau, 16% of these workers, that's 31,678 of us, mind you, are employed by some level of government. So almost 32,000 of us depend on a government paycheck to feed our families, pay our mortgages, rents, make car payments, pay tuition, do all the things we do that make us productive taxpayers and citizens. Using the conservative Census Bureau estimate of average household size in Spokane, which is 3, that means 95,034 Spokane County residents survive every day because some government entity is paying someone in their household to deliver one or more of the government services that you and me right here in Spokane, that's 95,000 folks, not a significant number, that they deliver. So getting back to the breadwinners, how do we feel about those 32,000 who work for the government? What do we know about their normal workday? Unless we have worked in government, probably not much. And if we go by the attacks we read in our local newspaper, or the rhetoric that washes over us every day from cable TV, or the AM radio screeds or social media slams, you'd have to say we're pretty hostile to these neighbors of ours. Judging from our media consumption, our favorite hobby seems to be criticizing government 24/7. We're always looking for, and usually finding, failures in our governments. If we were judged by the media swamp we all swim in, incompetence and corruption is everywhere. Yet almost every day, without fail, we wake up and water comes magically out of our faucets. Once a week, our garbage disappears from the curb in front of our house. The school bus whisks our children off to school, where well-trained teachers prepare them to be successful adult citizens. We pull away from our homes on good roads that are normally free of debris and cleared of snow, so that we can navigate through our protectively zoned neighborhoods and drive to our safe workplaces. Public workers, government employees, our neighbors, are the ones who make this predictable and normal start to our workdays possible. But we seem to lose sight of that gift of civilized normality as soon as we read or hear about some public policy decision that an opinion monger on cable news doesn't agree with. He or she will get our blood pressure up to the artery-popping level by alleging some elected official or appointed bureaucrat is self-dealing from our public purse. And when you work in the public sector, any of us who use your agency's services to pay taxes instantly mutate into angry, entitled bosses whenever we want to vent on you. And I know this from personal experience. As a public employee, you aren't allowed to fight back. You smile, you breathe to stay under control, you apologize for the bad experience with your agency, you try to explain what your bosses can't seem to explain about policy X, Y, or Z, that we angry citizens probably voted into law in the first place. You bend yourself into a pretzel seeking a compromise you know you will not find with this righteous, outraged citizen. And eventually you go back to work and do it all again the next day. Working the Commons will try to offer a window into the world of that besieged public worker. But Working the Commons isn't going to obsess over conflicts between the public and public workers. Working the Commons also will celebrate the many successes of the public sector and the public workers who don't always get recognized for making those successes possible. Finally, Working the Commons will offer my own insights into the story behind many of the threats to our commons, our shared public experiment in democratic governance. Occasionally, we'll do this with interviews of key players on the landscape of the commons. Most of the time, though, it will just be me reporting to you. Working the Commons will be offered for your consideration in the middle of each month. I hope you'll check us out on SpokaneTalksMedia.com.
The opinions expressed in this commentary are the opinions of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the station. Thank you for understanding.